Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
I wish the girl was kicked in the face.
We're not adding this!
Hello everyone, this is Greyshot17.
We can kill him, right? Like, who's gonna know?
And we're reviewing My Hero Academia Heroes Rising.
I'm 151, and we definitely haven't started this for like the umpteenth time.
Okay, here's the thing.
Uh-huh.
Just like this movie, it doesn't know where the hell it wants to go.
Just like this movie, you prove to be a disappointment, even under the most basic of circumstances.
Hello.
Here's the thing. It's not my fault.
Uh-huh.
And I blame it on the weak, and I think I should have an empire of very strong people that, of course, once they get stronger than me, will immediately kill me.
Hi.
This movie's not good, guys.
This movie's trash.
This movie is not good.
This movie is bad. This
movie makes a Naruto movie look good.
This movie makes
they
Dragon
are.
Ball movies look good.
Yeah,
Like,
whatever.
Look, I will say this.
Yes.
Okay, it's maybe not that
You
bad.
know what the problem with this movie is? Like, okay, here's the synopsis. First off, if you're a manga reader, you're fine. If you only watch the anime, you're going to be a bit confused on a few situations. There's definitely quite a number of references that I, as someone that, like, looking at the manga, am just now seeing. So,
I read the sacred text.
yeah, exactly. But regardless, the School of Class 1A go to basically an island for hero work, and villains attack, aka One for All Light, with One for All Light's goal of changing society to his betterment.
Yep.
And
Deku continues his training to reach
Well-
100%.
Shut the fuck up. Get out of here.
All right. So this movie essentially has
hate you more
Deku
now.
and kids trying to protect two children
Yep.
who are sought out by villains who want to possibly use them for nefarious purposes.
Yep.
There's some nice child choke action in the movie, though. I'll give it
I
that.
wanted that child to be kicked in the face.
I mean,
I wanted to die. You heard me chanting. for
Literally,
it.
the kid runs over. I was like,
there's a moment in this movie where a small child flails, and it is legit. It's a tearful scene. There are tears, but it is legit hilarious.
No,
because the problem with this movie at its core is it has no tension, but it wants to shovel so much emotion at you. They're like, it's not
Feel
deserved.
bad for the kid.
There's no tension. There's no.
killed
It
the
doesn't
dad.
feel earned. It doesn't feel rewarded to any single character.
The character
There's
mo-
good fights. There's some good fights in
Yeah, there's
animation.
one good villain. There's one good.
Yeah, there's one.
Well,
There's one
no,
good villain.
no. There's a passable villain with a laughable ability in the second half. Oh my god.
true.
This movie
Is it the
made
hair?
us laugh more than
Can we-
any emotion.
Can we say this? So
Two
we-
Heroes was better than this movie.
yeah, this movie, like I legit had my head in my hands because and that has not happened since Batman v Superman.
Okay.
Have I sighed that hard in a movie?
Yeah.
But this, okay, my basic problem with this movie is that it tries to reference the show as the building blocks to the emotional payoff at the end. But the problem is, because it's just a repeat and it doesn't mean anything, it doesn't work.
Can we
Yeah.
can we talk about how the movie flashbacked to the movie after scenes we just watched?
Yes.
Yeah.
And how bad that
Also,
is?
this movie kept explaining and explaining.
People know My Hero.
Remember when the hot guy
Okay.
explained what was going on the island, even though we already knew what was happening?
Yeah, that's also a problem. There's subplots that go nowhere. Hawks does this big investigation that shows
It's not
up.
an investigation. He goes 3 places.
Yeah,
Huh. They're
but
stealing the corpse.
but that's the thing. He's building this movie as like a thing, and he's not really. Does he ever get the fight?
No.
In the show. I mean, in the manga.
Not in the
yeah.
not in the
Is
manga.
did
in
we-
this
did we
movie.
watch the manga movie theaters?
No. I mean, come on.
It would have
guys.
probably
Come
been
on,
more
everyone reads the
entertaining.
sacred texts of My Hero Academia.
Okay,
Come on.
here's the
Read
problem.
another set of-
Pegasus / father ripoff up here. He has multiple quirks and
Nice.
he needs something to help finalize his quirk abilities that essentially make him look like all for one. Oh, it's bad because the fact
problem
he has
is
no motivation. He feels like a generic, even more generic than Magneto in the two heroes.
Magneto is very in-depth villain. You should take that back.
Well, there was
Stop
Magneto
it.
character and 2 heroes, and you know what?
So, long story short.
Yes.
The reason why this movie it tries to have its cake and eat it too. It tries to have cool action, which it does. There are a lot of cool action sequences, but it also tries to use the emotion of the series in this without like building up any of its own. And what it does build up is clunky at best.
See, all you have to
and
do
doesn't
to make
pay
good
off.
emotion is you gotta kill a couple kids or some family members, and that's not hard to do in an anime. They've done it before.
Oh yeah. So okay,
Like when Sasuke's older brother murdered his parents, that shit was lit.
Look, the scene in 2 Heroes where the guy shoots. The guy
shoots the All Might's friend.
Yes.
Like longtime friend. There's actually some build up, and the plot reveals that he's kind of been orchestrating all this, but he's done this for the best of intentions. That actually has some payoff to it. It's like, okay, the plot didn't overdo itself. I like this. The ending did slightly.
Yeah.
It almost tipped its hat. It kind of did, but then it pulled back.
Also, this has a problem where some of the fights look great, and some of the fights are good teamwork efforts by the other kids.
Yes,
who,
everyone gets their due.
Yes.
I will say that. Yeah, this movie has everyone gets their little payoff, but
except the invisible girl. She doesn't really do shit.
That's
Yeah,
actually
that's
never mind. This feels like a Dragon Ball movie where they take stuff from the show and just repurpose it. And the problem is they supposedly this movie's ending was supposed to be the ending for the actual show. Like that, this is what they were building up to. Problem is this doesn't feel like a finale. This doesn't feel like a big build up or climax for Deku or.
they do a little bit, but it's not enough. And
It's not.
It also
Not for the state. Not for what Deku does. I will say.
Yeah, it doesn't work. I mean, it kind of works, but at the same time, there's no ramifications to it because again, it's a movie and it can't have ramifications to it. So there's no even like. Compared to this, again, I stress this. I've seen a lot of anime movies. And
Yes.
I've liked some of them.
Okay.
And some of them I've not. Broly and like the Ghibli films.
Okay.
And like, what's the movie with the boy and the girl that swap bodies? Your Name.
Your Name.
There are movies that do like some moments especially well. Like Broly actually has tension and good fights without like placing the main characters in harm's way because you actually care for Broly. There's the tension. In Your Name, there's like drama and it's coming to this climax because you don't know how it's gonna end. In this movie,
Deku and Bakugo and everyone's gonna live.
Yeah, but so there is no other tension to suspend it. Therefore, when all the cool stuff happens, and yeah, there's quote unquote cool stuff, but you can't make it out. By the way, I could not tell what was going on.
That's also the problem.
Yeah.
The final fight in this movie, we're not going to say what it is until spoilers.
It doesn't feel deserved.
Nope.
And it doesn't, and you can't tell what's going on.
No,
so by the end, you just feel like disappointed.
It's
just disappointing.
It is the best looking garbage I've ever seen on the big screen.
It's the guy behind the One Punch Man Boros fight.
Really?
And
You thought it looked good?
No, I mean
There's
like
a few
the
shots I
level,
could tell.
the level of detail in there. I can tell they put a lot of work into that.
Oh, yeah, the guy did a ton
problem
of work.
is the way it's shot, the way it's animated. It's hard to make out what the hell is going on. And I'm not
Compare
saying
this
it as
to,
an
like-
old man that can't see anime. I mean, literally, there's so much shit, and the parts that matter are so poorly detailed. Like, literally, the guy above me has a scene where he's going in to do something. He's not animated all that well, yet everything else around him looks gorgeous, but then you can't tell what it is because it's so clustered.
It keeps going back and forth. The shot keeps changing. It's very cluttered.
Yes.
I will say again, it nears this in the other movie, with the
Magneto.
With the Magneto guy. Yeah. It nears that, but you can also make out the final blow. I could not tell you what happened in the final shot of this movie. I want to say it's a. But I'm not going to spoil. We're not going to spoil.
They punched a hurricane.
Pretty much.
And he wasn't even inside.
Yeah,
the
also,
hurricane.
but that's also a thing. It's also like
They
this
punched
guy
a
didn't have the most exactly defined ability, so it's hard. Again, rules. It's hard to make out.
What was his 9 quirks?
I have no idea.
He could
shoot lasers,
push air,
Shield.
Dragon.
the Yu-Gi-Oh! Water dragon.
Yeah.
Literally, I thought they were like Demon Hunter. I was like, oh, they got inspired by Demon Hunter.
Demon Slayer.
Demon
lightning.
Slayer.
He had the lightning power.
Yeah, he could control the
Yeah.
weather, which was his main one.
The all-in-one, all-for-one perk, which technically is a perk.
Can steal other people's. Okay.
Quirks.
Okay.
That's that. We got 6. What else?
He punches strong.
He punched strong. Okay,
Super
good.
strength.
Durability, because he took a lot of hits.
No, that's just plot armor.
No, that's just plot armor. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to make up for the anime shortcomings. Look, the problem also is there are things that happen in this movie that unfortunately just it doesn't make it. You have to keep suspending your disbelief.
9 long hair.
No,
We got him.
9 was going to be the cell activation.
And also, like, he has multiple quirks, but it feels like his
Wait, why do you call? Wait, I just realized they call him 9s, but he can't.
he doesn't have 9
He
quirks.
doesn't have 9. That's like calling a guy 7s.
You guys didn't realize it, but the only reason he was called 9 is because he could have 9 quirks.
He could have 9 quirks, but he doesn't.
Don't you love the fact that he named himself something he wasn't yet? Also, the fact that literally it's like, hey, my name is 7. Why? Because I have 7 tendrils I can fire from my hand.
Did you like the fact how you knew no matter what, as soon as he showed up, he wasn't gonna win because the movie?
It's
is
a movie.
stupid?
I mean,
Look, it's
that's expected, but you still want tension in the movie.
You
Even if
still
know
want-
Naruto had better tension.
No, okay, so after all the criticism that we've laid upon this movie, there are some good moments. There's some good tag team battles. There's some good, like, clever use of powers in regards to.
Sue gets to use her tongue a lot, which is I always like to see.
Ignore him.
I like her.
But regardless, there are some
She's
good,
best
clever
girl.
use of powers and like
Like
reversals
tongue.
that you use. But the main problem with this movie is it feels like just eating a whole bunch of sugar. It's like, yeah,
But you feel sick after a while.
there's
Exactly.
there's
and
one.
that's how I felt. I felt like, and I didn't want to feel this way. I just felt very disappointed by this movie, and that's not how I want to leave any type of movie.
Yeah.
Sue had a lot of tongue.
So overall, I guess let's just get to our final reviews.
And then we'll spoiler. Spoiler fucking galore.
Yeah, let's just get to it. Personally, for me, the characters are still solid, but and there's some moments that have some good action, and the animation at some points is really good. And I like the setting and whatnot, but all that fused together, there's still a mountain of stuff mountain of problems I have with this movie. So overall, I'm giving it a 3 out of 10. Like, that's my note.
Okay, so here's my standard. The music. Unfortunately, they put the music. You told me this.
Yeah.
They put the music from this movie into the show, and the show was first to use it. So of course, I'm gonna compare it to the show, and the show used it in a better scene than this movie. I did not feel anything in that scene. So music is either repeat or out. Second, animation can look great, but also most of the time looks slightly upgraded version of the TV show. And the problem is the final fight, which is supposed to be the best looking thing in the movie, is also the most cluttered and poorly set up shot. I mean, like I said,
Can we
it
just
is.
make note that this movie basically takes the last arc's kind of sense of defend child and
Yeah.
don't let him get to the child.
Yes, but anyway.
I just realized that.
Yep.
That's why I said it's a repeat of a Dragon Ball. It's taking the plot line of a series arc and putting it into a movie.
I will give the movie a 2 out of 10. The only redeeming factor is Sue's tongue had a lot of use during it, and I like to see that.
I hate you. Anyway, the additional
fair-
things, the characters had no arcs or drama. There is something that happens that we'll get into spoilers, but once again, the problem with that thing, it doesn't feel earned, and it feels like just a Deus Ex Machina moment.
Yep.
It barely feels put together.
Yep.
Add that to the pacing that made this movie feel incredibly long. Add that to the fact that cinematography.
Actually, the overplayed emotion.
Yeah.
Like that border on the line of pure comedy.
the generic villains, the heroes that don't have arcs or major changes or like there's nothing you take from this movie.
It's a cool setting.
There's talk about how that movie's like an hour and a half, but it felt like 3.
I left.
Ugh.
I left and I got popcorn, and I actually was like, I'm thankful I had this moment to speak to this person outside just so I can refresh to then go back into the movie. And that has not happened to me in a long time, if ever.
All right, so we're gonna go into spoilers.
Yeah, 3 out of 10. 3 out of 10.
We were laughing during this movie, and you were next to a random girl, and
She
I
hated me.
I felt so bad.
I didn't feel bad at
I
all.
kept hitting you, saying, stop laughing. There's a scene where okay, so fun fact, spoilers. There's not much you can spoil in this movie. The only thing you can say is Deku transfers his power over to Bakugo.
So dumb.
And again, gives him 100% of all for one. I'm sorry, one for all. But the problem with that is he immediately gets it. He immediately gets it to the where Deku is in terms of training and power, even though he shouldn't be, because again, Deku's been training all this time. Sure, maybe the fact that he just got in go, but okay, maybe there's that.
Force, Deku.
Whatever, they look like Super Saiyans going off with their golden hair. Wonderful.
Hey, dude, that was so bad. I was like, Dragon Ball Z much?
Second, After that, the animation just goes buck wild, and you can't see anything.
Nope.
Third, and this is
Also, Frog Girl doesn't make an appearance in Final Fight, which was really bad. Her tongue could have been.
Stop. Everyone was knocked out pretty much. Oh, so I'll give them that. There was at least good fights with the side characters. Adding in a couple other things as well. The problem with this is once the final fight happens, essentially the power never transferred to Bakugo because they can't have something.
What? No, so surprising.
It's
I literally broke out laughing.
It's dumb. It's incredibly dumb. And unfortunately, this movie just has a lot of dumb plot holes. Like, they evacuate everyone in the village to one location that has the only lights. And you're like, okay, why can't the villains find this? Why don't the villains know where they are? Okay, and then you have so they got 1,000 people off the main island onto a secondary island without the villains knowing. Third, again, you can just, there's so many plot holes in this movie. They're after 2 children, and it's like you have multiple people, students have quirks that you literally could get them off the island into safety without anyone. Because the only way...
Have you ever heard of boats?
The villains crashed their boat.
Not all of them.
Well, how the hell are the villains going to know by the time 6 hours happens and the heroes come in with a fucking Air Force? There were jets flying overhead.
They could have used those to get off the
island. If you saw, All Might literally used a parachute to parachute down to them. Because there was a parachute distance, so he parachuted down to go check on them.
All Might can fly.
Oh my god, you are not good in this review. Anyway.
What do you want me to say? The movie, we already said our piece. The movie's not good.
Any spoilers in this movie, you would
What
say?
spoilers? There's no spoilers. It's a boilerplate anime movie. I knew the entire plot going in. I barely watched the show. And I can tell you what happens.
The voice actor for Hawks is fine, because I guess he's the new addition. But the problem...
But it doesn't mean shit!
Yeah, he's not in it for any big deal. There's like between him and Shigaraki.
Like, I've seen this premise in
Shigaraki
all
does
the time.
Kill the main villain, which again,
group of characters gets sent to an island. Oh, it's supposed to be on Kijori, but we all know the big bad's gonna come on, and there's gonna be an initial fight where they lose. They don't even lose the initial fight. They like fight to a stalemate. So like already they established the students are almost on par with these evil dudes. They even beat one of them and take him prisoner, which is never used to any effect at all in the movie. At all. They don't even try and torture them.
They don't get any information. They'll try to talk.
And then it's like, oh,
the dialogue tends to repeat what's going on in the situation, where at least in Dragon Ball
I hate
or Broly or something like that, like other anime movies.
No, there are multiple times in the movie where they reiterate their roles and what they're supposed to be doing, and it's so ham-fisted. I go, why?
Yeah.
It's worse than Call of the Wild.
This is a major disappointment for me, and I cannot believe this is so bad. I was slightly disappointed with Two Heroes. Heroes Rising. I don't know. It's like, again, stop making the movies. Just focus on the show, please. Just focus on the show.
Make Deku and the anti-gravity
please focus on the
already.
show.
I'm fucking dying waiting, but no, I'm never gonna get that. Am I? We're gonna get the fucking Hinata Naruto treatment where it literally takes like 10, 20 years before it's.
Well, okay, that's a show. What do you have issues with the movie?
Well, Naruto had movies too.
Oh my god. Anyway, the problem is, again, you can literally skip this movie, miss nothing, and it tries to build up to something, but doesn't do anything out of it.
You can literally just put, at the end of the season, just put a little after credit shot of Hawkman coming in and being all like, "Caw!" and it would have been a way better story than this.
Yes. So essentially, the whole point that I'm trying to get is this movie feels essentially it doesn't build up to anything. The villains are completely forgettable.
Also,
the heroes don't have any interesting moments or arcs.
You know what I thought was going to be interesting?
A couple comedic shots, but again,
I thought the villains were actually going to go against him, considering he kind of was using the villains
also
for their power. And then it's never, it's only used as like, it's basically used to say like, oh, he's not a standard villain. Bullshit, he's a standard villain.
Also, it's weird that the league villains are like the problem with them is they literally are in a vehicle and they're all dummies. They're all fakes.
And they still have their full power and stop.
Well, no, that's fine. That's part of it. But why would, if they knew it was a trap by the heroes, why would they be doing that? Why would they have copies of themselves? And then on the other side, why were they trying to meet up with the rest of his team? But that's not the case because it doesn't seem like he was supposed to get off that.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. It just feels like they just had to get him off. For those who don't know, the villains were essentially transporting him, and then the heroes mixed in, and the guy escaped. The problem is, it seemed like his team was waiting for him, which doesn't make sense. If the villains knew, it's convoluted. There's so many repeated shots. There's literally the opening shot is reused animation from the intros.
So is them helping the villagers.
Well, some of that's reused, but the main reuse, they use a lot of reused shots from the show, which again, I don't mind if you reuse shots in 1 or 2 instances, but when it's constant,
Felt like
at least redo it or do it in an interesting way, like Dragon Ball Super Broly did. At least do something different with it enough instead of just putting a nice filter over it. That didn't feel good at all.
That is art. I've said my piece.
Yes, you've barely said anything.
No, I've said my piece.
Anyway, like I said, 3 out of 10. I would avoid it. I would go watch Broly again. I would skip this movie in general. Maybe stream it on Funimation when it eventually comes out. I'm assuming it'll be on Funimation. But yeah, please don't. This movie's not worth it. And it's sad because I feel like the voice actors are trying, but the script they're giving is also bad. The dubbing of this, at least the dialogue of it is just a little bland as well. I wish there was more, but again, they can only do so much, and this story is already so bland. Anyway, that's going to be it for Heroes Rising. Put down in the comments what you think, and tell us how Ace didn't talk during this entire review. Any case, this has been Greyshot17.
I'm Ace.
And we'll see all of you next time for the Invisible Man, most likely. I hate you. Hello everyone, this is Greyshot. Before I go, I want to give a special shout out to Patreon supporters Josh, Milam, Joey G240, Just Thomas Plays, Spartycus, Rifle, JrChicklis, Pyroshark, Ion, Ollie, Ace, GTA, and Jakub Oswai. Thank you all for your incredible support. This has been Greyshot17 and his amazing patrons, and I'll see you all next time.